I will go live on Facebook. Oh, scary, scary, scary. Oh, who should see this?
You using StreamYard?
No, I'm using Zoom. Okay, share to my timeline. And this is going live on, I wonder if it's public or if it's friends only. Would you care if it goes public?
As far as what, your group?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Hey, whatever you need, I'm here for it. I'm here for the ride. I'm just
Okay. Mm. Oh, share to my group. Here it is. Here to my group. There it is. Here it is. I got it. Okay. So, consent to third party. Got it. And it's setting it up for a Facebook Live. Okay. So, hi, Aaron. How are you today?
Doing fantastic, Yowie. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, of course, of course. I'm very excited about this new wow, this new group that I'm doing, and you're my first interview, so I'm very honored that you decided to do this with me today.
It's an absolute pleasure. You're such a joy to be around, and your energy is infectious, and I know that what you're gonna do is gonna impact a lot of people. So it's an honor to be here as well.
Thank you, thank you. Wow, and so tell me a little bit more about what you do and how you might be able to help some of the people that are listening in on Brain to Belly, because it's about changing your relationship with food, which also means changing up here to change here and to nourish your soul and to nourish all of you, basically. So, yes, go ahead.
My name is Arron Lloyd. I'm originally from the inner city, in a single parent home. A lot of challenges that grew up with that, and it's interesting that everything kind of stems and begins and ends here. So I think it's interesting that your group is called Brain to Belly because even with the foods that we eat, it stems from here in our relationship here. So growing up, I just I've always had high confidence in my ability. I believe that if I had the right mentorship, if I had the right tools, if I worked hard, I could achieve some things. And sometimes the self-image wasn't always there because of just the environment that you're in, and what was possible for me, and what is okay for me to do, or what's not okay for me to do. So ultimately, your question was, what do I do? And I'm an actor. So I have a great place in my heart for actors or creatives. And what I do is I help them ace their auditions and magnetize a marvelous life through neuroencoding modalities. And you're a neuroencoder yourself. And so what we do is help people default to their best by eliminating the thieves of their dreams, things like procrastination, hesitation, fear of failure, fear of success, self-doubt, self-loathing, fear of rejection, stress, overwhelm, and all those things, because it all begins and ends here.
Yeah, that's so true. Wow. I think all of those, the thieves of our dreams, and they're also called the toxic 10, I guess,
Yep.
lately. They are so toxic, and they're toxic to here, which is toxic to our whole bodies because, all of that. For instance, let's just take, I was recently in a situation where I was comparing myself to others.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the, toxic tens, the thieves of our dreams, basically, because it causes self-doubt, lack of self-worth. And yeah, so tell me a little bit more about how you help with actors or people gain that self-esteem so that they can be at their best, so that they don't have to worry too much about, this and this going hand in hand.
I think the entertainment industry is in acting particularly is, and even music or dancers is such an interesting field to be in because not only are you going through life as a human being, which is can be challenging as it is, nobody's going to be immune to challenges in their life. What you're doing as an artist is offering up your body as an instrument in your mind, your imagination to create characters, to create stories, and stories have been around since the beginning of time.
Hmm.
So it's very pivotal to us understanding and have a mirror up to nature, as Shakespeare says, of what our relationship to ourselves, our relationship to our environment is. So I think in order for, in acting specifically, or any artistic kind of endeavor, entrepreneurship, even at that level, is filled with a lot of rejection.
Yes,
And I think the difference for maybe even entrepreneurs, for actors, is like Erica Badu has a great quote where she says, "I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my shit." Right? And rightfully so, because it's your body, it's your imagination, it's your face, it's your voice, all these things that are on the line to try to offer up a beautiful story for the audience. And
yes,
I think it's important for when an actor not only to be in peak state with the high pressure, when you have a camera that looks like a cannon right in your face and it's right there and the action, nobody cares, and action, and everybody on set doing all this stuff, you got to stay poised, especially if you're number one on the call sheet. Number one on the call sheet means you're like the top dude, like the Tom Cruise or whoever, or Margot Robbie or
right.
whoever, or something like that. So when they're essentially leading the set, so
Mm-hmm.
everything around them is going to be predicated on how they are behaving and how they are being. So I think defaulting to your best in that environment, and also if you are not number one on the call sheet, but 100 on the call sheet, and you're acting opposite a star, something like that, you
Yes.
need to be poised so you don't get fired. You know what I'm saying? So that
Very good.
those
Yes,
stuff.
yes. What are some yeah, that's so true. I think in life in general, like for regular people that like that aren't actors like me, um, I think fear of rejection is always there. And for us, it would be like when we go into an interview for a job, for instance. Um, you have to be in appear, you have to get it together so that you can appear poised and at your best so that you can show the people that this is I'm the right person for the job, right? So what are some of techniques that you use or you employ or teach to for situations like this?
So there's a great technique that we have called the stop technique. And I had this thought today for our interview, it just randomly popped in my head, so I want to share it.
Sure.
I think that the fear rejection piece, we have to want what we want more than the discomfort of what it might take to get there. And what I mean by that is, like for me, for instance, I've been posting on social media more. I don't like social media. I don't want to put stuff on social media. I'm low key. I don't really care that much. And I also know the impact I want to make. So I want that more than the discomfort. So to your question of like how you help people do it is Joseph, our mentor, has a great quote where he says, "Would you rather be pushed pushed hard from the past, or pulled gently into your future?" So I think it's helping people create a magnificent vision for what their future is, then helping them be pulled and compelled to do that. And there's some strategies and tools to help them do that.
I love that pull gently to your future.
Sounds
That's
so cute.
yeah. I mean, when you said that, my heart just went like, and my shoulders just went down a little bit because you could feel the gentleness of that. Instead of being pushed, when you feel pushed, you feel that stress. You're like, oh my God. And then I just thought about, I don't know why I thought about this, but I thought about standing on the platform of the train and being
Oh
pushed.
Lord.
Okay, that's a typical New
That,
Yorker
that's a
fear.
that is a fear for real. I always stand at the wall. I always stand towards the back. Y'all ain't gonna get me. Y'all ain't gonna catch me slipping.
Hello, me too. And then I was thinking, but forget about that analogy, but I was thinking, you want to be pulled into your future and you want to be pulled by the good future that you hold, the vision that you hold, right?
Yeah.
Um, so so you were saying the stop tech, you were going to talk about the stop technique a little bit, I think, that our mentor suggests.
Yeah, the stop technique is a
Mhm.
very, very powerful tool. And the elements of it, the basis and the foundation of stop technique is any thought that you have is a pattern in your brain. And those patterns can be rewired, right? We've heard of neuroplasticity and things like that. So if you're on a pattern, the key is to stop that pattern through this technique, to stop the
Yes.
pattern and then put something else in it. There's something in
Hmm.
psychology called a scotoma. And
Yes.
scotoma is a blank spot. It's a blank spot in which uh, is just open for a very limited amount of time. So us as coaches, we want to be able to, for our clients to have a way, something predetermined that they want to then insert into that and then give them the tool to use so they can do it on their own as their homework so they can continue to build on that through the work that they do with us. So the key is one, stop technique. You want to first, you want to know what you don't want to feel anymore, that pattern that you don't want. So
Yes.
for your audience, it might be, I don't want to eat Kit Kats anymore because they're so good. That's one of my favorite candies. Yeah, I'm not even gonna cap. Like Kit Kats are
Uh,
really good.
yeah, and all the different flavors that they have these days, it's like
Oh,
so fun, right?
and they put it right at the cashier, right there. So as you're walking by, you got to see it. It's like these anyway. So yeah, so Kit Kats. I want to stop eating
Yes.
Kit Kats. I know I want to stop eating Kit Kats because I have a very strong health goal. So the
Mm-hmm.
key would be to stop that pattern. Okay, I might see a Kit Kat. I need to stop that, and I need to know what I want instead. So maybe it's a salad. which which isn't or like I mean sounds boring, but maybe the key is for you, and this is where your expertise comes in. Is there a way to make salad more appealing? So
Oh
then
yeah.
we stop the Kit Kats and then we put the salad in, and you feel good about the salad, and then you have your end result, your outcome.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, I'm a sweets person too, so I totally get the replacing the mm, yeah, it would be like for me it would be chocolates. And also it used to be for me Reese's because I was a peanut butter chocolate and peanut butter dark chocolate and peanut butter were always my thing. Um, so it would be replacing that with something a little appetizing or health conscious. And that would be something that I would do to help myself as well. Because, when you think about, oh no, I can't have that, I can't have that, and put that like on a bad list, which
Mhm.
we really shouldn't have bad and good lists. What's going to serve me or not serve me is a better way of thinking about it, I think personally.
Can I ask
You
a
know,
question on that though?
yeah, yeah.
What if this Kit Kat is serving your taste buds though? You know what I'm saying? It's serving your taste buds.
Yes. And that in itself is good in some ways because psychologically, if it's helping you, that's okay. So like one Kit Kat or like having one, I mean, I'm not talking about the mega bars, right?
King
But
size.
yeah, but like if you're having one of those little one bar that has
Mhm.
the four Kit Kats in it, of course I know my Kit Kats. Um, but if you're having that, I don't once in a blue moon or even just once a week, okay? I think that's okay. It's when you start restricting yourself and then I know for me, I'm like one of these addictive personalities.
Mhm.
So if I say I can't have something and I'm also a mismatcher in a lot of ways, if somebody tells me I can't have something,
Now you
that's
want it.
all I think about. Yes. Yeah. So I'll just start thinking Kit Kats, Kit Kats, Kit Kats, Kit
Are you
Kats, right?
rebellious? Are you rebellious?
Hello. Yeah. My whole life has been a rebellion.
That's funny.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but yes, I am very rebellious. I used to be a very black and white person. Everything had to be one way or the other because it was either good or bad. And I have issues with authority figures. Uh, I'm very like yes. So I think if somebody tells me I can't have something, that's all I think about.
That's
And
funny.
the addictive personality is then I'm like, that's all I think about, right?
Yeah.
Um, that's why I can't play games anymore. I used to be very much into games, but then I could stay up till 4 a.m. in the morning playing games, even if I know that I have to go into work the next day, right? And I only have maybe an hour or two of sleep. And so I had to stop doing that because um I know my personality. It's also getting to know yourself and know what's going to be what your triggers are going to be, I think.
Yeah.
And for me, it was knowing that that was my personality. I had to create a way to circumvent that or to change that so that I didn't go into these bad habits or this rabbit holes or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's so like with the Kit Kat or the Reese's, like if I know that if I bought like a big thing of Reese's and I said, nah, I'm just gonna have one a day.
Uh,
Uh-uh. No, 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 no. Yeah. So if I am gonna have a Reese's, I will buy one or
mhm.
I'll buy like a, two pack. And then what I also do is this is crazy, but I used to freeze one of them. I
Oh
would put
wow,
one in the freezer. Yeah, this is like a very weight conscious person's thinking, but I would put it in the freezer so I wouldn't eat it
that's
because
smart.
or if I do eat it, then it would take me longer to eat it. Or I would break a tooth.
You're mismatched. You're like, I want it. It's all I think about. I need it. I don't care if it's cold and frozen.
I mean, hey, I've done that too. Okay.
Oh,
But I know it I'm putting, like little barricades to get to it and make it a little more difficult because human nature is if something's a little more difficult to get to, you're not going to expend that much energy to get to it, right?
yeah.
And if you make something a little easier, you're going to get to that easier. So, for instance, that's what I used to do. So, I don't know why I'm talking about me and my food
This
issues.
is this is a great conversation. I'm enjoying it.
Well, so it would be instead, I used to, and I still do this, is I buy grapes, the seedless ones, and I would wash them, clean them up, and I would put them in the freezer, and they would become like, little treats that are ice cold treats. So if I had something in the freezer, like a piece of cake or chocolate that, I'm not real, that really isn't going to be serving me in my health journey, right? It might serve me up here, but it might not serve me in my health journey. Then I'll see the grapes first, the frozen grapes. And I'm like, oh, I could have those instead. And then I kind of forget about the chocolate because that satisfies me and it satisfies my sweet tooth.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if you know this, but I worked for a uh very popular, commonly known health organization for a long time, and I was a member there. So I've learned a lot for 20 something years. So I've learned so many tricks on how, or tricks or tips on how to be healthier, how to trick my mind a little bit so that it serves me better. So it's like a stop technique in a lot of ways. I've been doing it unconsciously, not knowing it was a stop technique, but replacing it with healthier options. Because for me, I used to be heavy as a kid and yeah, I was
Like,
high school, I was very heavy. And that was because I always ate my emotions. I went through a lot with my childhood. I went from one country to another country, to different cultures, got bullied a lot because of the way I looked. I wasn't, here in the US, of course, I look different. And then when I went back to Japan, I was different because I was very Americanized.
uh,
So you get bullied a little bit. And so I ate a lot because food became my friend. And it was, sharing that. And it was, yeah. And then I would eat to also create kind of like a barrier around myself so that people won't come to me and so that I won't get hurt.
oh wow.
Yeah. I used to call it my armor of fat because because it was a way for me to kind of like prevent people from getting close to me so that my heart wouldn't get hurt. Because after you get bullied a lot as a kid, you're like, you've got to find some defense, right?
Yeah.
And that's what became my defense. But enough about me. This is about you. And, but I'm sure that 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 caused for me to lose self-confidence, self-esteem. And
Mhm.
you earlier mentioned helping actors with their self-esteem. And I think self-esteem really comes from up here, right? And
Yeah.
working on this part really makes a difference in, I think, so many things. And what's your take on that? And I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm remembering a time in which for I can only speak for myself in terms of like what my value system is as far as like
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood and things like that. I personally do think that in an industry where you're not only, well, depending on your how far you go in it, where a lot of the public knows you, and then you have people like your team around you saying what you should be and what you should do and how you should be and how you should behave, or you should take this project but this director wants you to do this and you don't really feel comfortable doing that, but oh my god, it's going to help. I think those situations of having a strong core of who you are and what your morals and values are
Yes.
is super important. Otherwise, I feel like you'll end up looking in the mirror, not knowing who you are or not feeling comfortable with who you are. Uh, for myself personally, I
Yes.
haven't thank God, I haven't faced any situations where I felt like I had to choose the success or my integrity or morals or things like that. And I've heard
Mm-hmm.
stories where that might be the case. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
shifting. I think that's changing. And I think what that stems from is a strong sense of self-esteem. Because if you don't have a strong sense of self, then I think it's going to be very, very likely that it's going to be easy for somebody else to put on you what they see for you rather than what you see for yourself.
Right, right. I totally agree with you. Finding your own identity and but really believing and loving that identity is so crucial. I guess in just in life, but I'm sure more crucial in the type of industry that you're in because it's more than, normal life, right? You have so many opinions hitting you from all different sides. So you really have to have that core. And I think, bringing it back to brain to belly, I think in society, society puts all these ideas in your head about who you should be, right? And I think you need to, even as a regular person, you need to find a core that's going to serve you, I think. Um, so for you, for example, is there a daily ritual or a daily thing that you do to maintain your core and to practice self-love, I guess that would be one of the things. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting this element of self-love. I've always loved myself, and my tendency has been, I've learned lately, is that I was the man of the house at a very young age, right? So
Mhm.
I've tended to put other people's needs, and it's my superpower
Yeah.
now because I'm very intuitive and I'm a coach. Like I'm able to
Yes.
help. I'm very good at that. And what I've learned
Yes.
lately about myself is that it's also important to take care of myself. So self-love in the past has looked like this for me. Oh, I love myself. I'm cool. I'm confident. I love people. I'm cool. I'm chilling. Oh, what do you need? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been I've delayed my gratification so much where I enjoyed my life, but I wasn't really enjoying my life. Meaning that I want to take a trip because I want to save
Mm-hmm.
money. I want to do this because I want to do this. So now self-love looks like to me, if I feel like taking a break, if I feel like going on a vacation, which I'm going to Bahamas next month, which I'm very excited about, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? And
Good.
self-love
Mm-hmm.
to me looks like skincare. It looks like getting a fresh haircut. It looks like taking care of myself. Working out has been throughout my life, has been
Mm-hmm.
my, I think initially it started from football, but football came from like, I'm so I'm so upset with my circumstances. How can I do this? And football is a very, physical
Yes.
sport. So
Mm-hmm.
you can do that without getting in trouble.
Yes.
So,
Yes, I
so,
totally get that.
you know,
That's
so
that
it
that's why
was
I got into kickboxing for a
really,
while.
that's
Yeah.
funny. Like, stop bullying me, start kicking people. You know, you know. Hey, it be like that sometimes. I understand. So
Yeah.
I hope I answer your question.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, yeah, self-care, yeah, is it's really become more free. Well, I guess it's evolved as you've evolved, and it's become more of taking care of you, so giving you gratification when you need it.
No.
Because it's like that whole oxygen mask story, right? You know, I think a lot of people know this, but just for audiences that don't know it or people that don't know it, when you're on a plane, the air air attendant or the flight attendant always says, the mask will drop, put it on yourself first, and then attend to your companion or whomever. And it's because if we're not capable of taking care of ourselves, if we're not whole, we can't take care of any other people.
Can't pour from an
Yeah.
empty cup. So
Yep,
true.
exactly. That's such a great term. And can't pour from an empty cup. It's so true. There's nothing there. And wow, yeah, that's so great. And I guess, since this month is February and it's a lot of people are thinking about love, and so I think self-love, self-care is something that I think could be, yeah, thought about, and just to have a little awareness this month. And I appreciate you talking about that. Yeah. And so I wanted to also ask you, you said you were a coach, and so you coach, who do you mostly coach, and where can we get in touch with you? Yeah, I'd like to hear a little bit more about that.
So I'd say about 70% of my clients are actors or in the creative field. I
Mm-hmm.
have a stylist client who's doing really well right now. And I also have like a small percentage of people that are even in financial services or a lawyer that I'm working with. Her last session today is with me. So I'd say the bulk of my clients are industry related. They're
Mm-hmm.
actors, dancers, musicians. And how you can find me is simply AarronEmpowers.com. It's spelled Arron Empowers. Or you can scan this barcode right here, up right there that you can
Yeah. Yes.
find more information.
Okay.
You can see
Okay.
the same link.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, we'll put your information. You could put it once like this is posted, you could put this in the comments and so people can easily find you.
Mhm.
And thank you so much for being here. And if there's one message you'd like to leave the viewers or the people in this group, what would it be?
This is what immediately, I usually say, dare to make life your canvas, dare to make it beautiful. This is what immediately came to mind, though. I'd
Hmm.
say know yourself so that you can know others, right? And that includes knowing yourself well enough to know and be conscious of the food that you're eating, know yourself in terms of your esteem and your confidence in yourself and your love for yourself. And then life is going to really be a masterpiece for you. So that's what I would say.
Yeah. Wow. Just like you're creating your own masterpiece, Aaron. So thank you for being here today. I
My
truly
pleasure.
appreciate you. And yes, we're gonna sign out. So thank you, everyone, and thank you for watching. And yes, peace, peace, peace. Okay, now I'm becoming goofy me. So anyway, uh, we will log off here and thank you very much.
Take care.
Yep, thank you. Stop live stream. Okay, I stopped the
How was
live
that?
stream. That was really great. Thank you.
Good. Good, good.
Yeah. I hope you got enough time. I'm still recording, but do you want me to stop recording?
Either way, it's
Uh,
fine.